And now, you're tuned into RBLR, the home of Tampa Bay's Reveler Sports.
This is the RBLR Rays podcast. I am Zach. He is Pat. And I don't know, Pat, if I have ever felt so bummed about a 4-1 week as I feel right now, because I should feel great. A 4-1 week is a great week to have any other week. 5-1 if you count the Sunday game. And yet I am left feeling disappointed.
Well, let me cheer you up then. Let me cheer you up. I'm going to do an impression for you to cheer you up. I'm going to do a little impression for you. Can you guess who I'm doing an impression of?
Okay, I'm ready.
Actually, the Yankees were very lucky. They were luck merchants today. Aaron Judge's fly ball would have only been a home run in 3 in 30 ballparks, actually. He hit it 363 feet. It was not a deserve to win. They only had an expected batting average of 218. And the Rays could have easily got them if not for some base running. They don't really have any good hitters. I only looked. They only have 2 guys who lead in slugging percentage, which is the same as the Rays. So actually, they're due for a regression and fall off. Actually,
wow. I mean, I feel like that is the voice behind a lot of the conversation that I have heard over the last several days. And
that was my Yankees Twitter. That was my Yankees Twitter impression.
That was very good.
And we did lose today, and it was a tough one. It was a tough one to lose. Aaron Judge kind of short porched it, which happens sometimes. And the Rays kind of made a lot of base running errors. I think they did enough in terms of the hitting to get 2 runs across. But the base running kind of cost them there. The pitching shoved. I'm not going to get mad about giving up 2 runs on a short porch Aaron Judge home run. It's an unfortunate one. Like, did you know Nick Fortes actually hit a ball further than what Aaron Judge hit today as well? It happens. It's a tough one, but we're not here to talk about that because we're going to talk about the 4 other wins that we had this week. And speaking of 4, we could lose our next 4 straight, and the Yankees could win their next 4 straight. Would they still be top of the AL East? No. So plenty of reason to be happy today. And I'm sounding a bit like spiteful and a bit like, vindictive today. It's not my usual calm-headed self, but I'm decided I'm just going to be a Yankees rage baiter now because that's what the Rays are. Yes. So I'm gonna run with this identity this season.
Yes, and I mean the identity of this team has almost been kind of a rage bait team, and not necessarily intentionally, but the way they play just brings so much frustration from other teams. But it brings a bunch of joy to us, and hopefully a bunch of joy to all of you who are watching. We are so glad that you took some time out of your day after the Rays game to drop by and hang out with us and talk some ball. We appreciate you. If this is your first show, raised bait, if this is your first show with us, we appreciate you joining. If you've come before, do us a huge favor and drop a follow or a subscribe on any of the platforms that you enjoy us on. We would love to see you guys know when we are going live so you can be part of the conversation. You got some thoughts on the games this week? There was a lot of good, like we're saying, a lot of good to be talking about. Drop it over in a comment on YouTube. Love to hear what you guys have to say. But we're going to get right into it. The Orioles series was a fun one to watch if you were a Rays fan. The Rays win that series by a combined score of 25-10 over the course of those 3 games. A comfortable 3-game sweep of the Orioles.
Yeah, it started off on a fun note as well. The offense exploding to 16 runs off Tyler. Which Rogers was it? One of the Rogerses.
It is Trevor Rogers, but I will confirm.
Trevor Rogers, yeah. Absolutely exploded off Trevor Rogers. And we did it in the Rays way as well. I don't think we hit a single home run in that game. We just hit. It was just it was nuts. Rogers was not missing any bats at all. He only managed to last 3 2/3, and then we just continued to pile it on Ends and Foster as well. Lovely stuff. I feel like we've not seen a Rays offensive explosion in a minute like that. So that was an excellent tone setter, I think. The pitching wasn't great. McClanahan was kind of like, but when you score 16 runs, and I think by the time McClanahan gave up a run, we were already up 6-0. So like, and then when he gave up those other 3 runs, we were already up like 8 or 9-0. So you can kind of get away with being not at your best then anyway.
Yeah, and I mean the fact that Junior hit a 3-run home run in the middle of all that game, and it wasn't even memorable just because of the other amazing performances you had. Yandy Diaz with a 4-hit day, Valade going 3 for 3 with a walk. I mean, DeLuca 3 RBIs. I mean, just everybody was getting in on it. Except for Carson, unfortunately. But literally everybody else was getting in on it. And huge fun to watch. I also do want to give a shout out to Solsky coming in and getting 3 innings after McClanahan, only giving up 2 runs. I always appreciate a long reliever who's able to come in a blowout and just sort of clean up some innings and allow Biggie to get in there in the 9th and get kind of a bounce back for him with a nice strikeout. Just a feel-good game. It would have been nice if McClanahan had just shoved the entire time. But at the same time, if you're going to have a bad game, have it when we're leading by 12. So we take those all day.
Yeah. Is it time to have discussion? I don't know if we've done it on the pod yet. Should we have a quick discussion about Ryan Valade?
I do think it's worth talking about because, and I think it's doubly worth talking about when you consider the Johnny DeLuca injury. So do we want to come back to that when we move into later on in the episode, because we're going to have to talk about DeLuca being out and what the plans are going to be, because I think Valade is going to be a huge part of whatever the plan is with DeLuca gone, because he is the only right-handed outfielder on the team at the moment, I believe. Well, that's not true. I think Victor Mesa is a right-handed outfielder. But, I mean, I think that you're going to see a lot of Valade in short order. Yeah,
Valade. And you know what? Known as a kind of righty masher. A lefty masher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yet has been starting to have really good at-bats against righties as well, starting to get some results against righties whenever he doesn't do it often when he's not getting many at-bats against right-handed pitchers, but he seems to be doing all right against them as well. He's just like being a solid all-around producer now. And you got to wonder, is he going to, like you said, with DeLuca out, is he just going to play his way into the everyday right field job? Maybe.
Yeah. I think he might, and we'll, there's not a whole, honestly, the Orioles series, the last 2 games were very similar. And they were both very solid pitching performances on the Rays side, got just enough offense in both of those games to get wins. Never really super felt like we were in danger of losing either of those games, in my opinion.
No, Griffin Jacks looked great. Probably his best start as a Ray. Probably his best appearance as a Ray, I would say. And then in that middle game of the series, I should add. And then, Shane Baz really shoved against us, actually. We had to do that one late. We had to do that final game of the series a bit late on. Because we were down. We were down 3-1 going into the bottom of the 8th, but then we rallied. Aranda got the big hit in that. Palacios also got a big hit. And then we did the double steal, the baseball IQ play.
Yes.
And I think that's the how do I put it? I think that play, that double steal play, showed where the Orioles and the Rays are at. I think that if you go explain to me where the Orioles are at this season, where the Rays are at this season, I've not seen any of the 2026 so far. I'd show them that play. Yeah. And I'd go, that's where they're at right now, because the Rays are just going with complete confidence and the Orioles' head are not in the game right now. They're looking lost. You're not supposed to fall for that.
Well, and like, I was really surprised Adley in particular, who I think had been for a long time considered in like one of the top defense, even if his offense had fallen off, but still considered a top defensive catcher. But that felt like a little league trick that we managed to pull off. Now it did rely obviously on Vilade's speed, which we've talked about before, that Vilade is sneaky quick, being able to get home on that play. But still, like, man, that felt like it was almost too easy.
Yeah, and that was a great come from behind win on that one. And yeah, lovely sweep. The Orioles, difficult conversations, probably not for us to have, but I think if you're a Orioles adjacent person, you've got to be having some difficult conversations about that team because they are really struggling, and they've got their guys. Like Adley's there, Gunner's there, Holiday's there. He missed the first like few weeks of the season, but Holiday's there. They've got their guys. This is the team as constructed, and then they're not there. And this is they're an organization where Elias does not like to spend to add. So what's the fix there? Because if they don't turn it around soon, you got to start going, well, some of those guys want to get out of there, or will Elias decide to trade some of those guys to start the next rebuild?
It sans the World Series, it reminds me a little bit of the Cubs, where it was like it felt like as maybe the Orioles 100-win season was supposed to be their year where they won a World Series or made some noise. They sort of got their pelt on the wall. But when they weren't able to do that now, it feels like they can either try to mortgage some of this young talent to get some starting pitching, because that has been the problem for them, is not being able to have enough pitching to get it done. So do you mortgage some of that to try to get enough with what remains of that core to find a way to get to a successful state of being over a course of a longer period? Or do you just say, we got to call this thing and just split it up? I feel like it's still too early for the latter there, but I do wonder if we see one of their like core guys get moved to try to bring in some starting pitching, because they're just not able to get it done right now.
Yeah. And they already went super aggressive on the Bars trade too.
Right.
Like they gave up a lot of prospects for that. So people are going to say, other organizations are going to say, hey, this is the bar. This is what you're willing to give for Shane Bars. So if you want to get, I don't know who's even out there. They're not going to go get a Scooble, but if starting pitching is expensive. So especially mid-season.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to just ride this season out and give it one last go next season. Be super aggressive, put all the chips in the table and hope that it works. Because otherwise, those many seasons of being a bottom of the barrel team got you one division title, like 2 playoff appearances.
Man.
But like never get past the DS. It's tough.
It's tough. I mean, still a lot of, again, we've said this a couple of times now on the show, still a lot of baseball left to play in this season, but there are some teams where it looks like it's getting late early. And the Orioles are one of them. And we will see them tomorrow at Camden. So, who knows? Maybe the Orioles will turn it around and sweep us in return. And the Orioles
maybe.
But I don't think so.
I hope not. That's for sure.
I don't think so.
Weird one. The first game is a day game in that series.
Yeah, on a Monday.
Yeah,
it's
great for
Monday,
me.
1:35. Yeah, there you go.
Although, is it because it's Memorial Day?
Oh, probably. That's probably the answer to that question.
Yeah.
That's probably.
Quick turnaround for the Rays, having to play day game, travel day game. Quick turnaround, but.
Yeah, luckily, obviously, I mean, if we were going West Coast to Orioles, it'd be really tough. It's not too far to go from New York down to Baltimore. At least not relatively speaking. I don't think it's as bad as it could be. But hopefully, the good news is that we're going to talk about this in a minute, but they didn't really use very many pitchers today. The Rays didn't. So, no. I mean, that's the good news, is the bullpen's still fine. Good job, Kevin. Oh man, I gotta calm down before we get to that because I have
Hey,
to say. Let's
I
talk
will
about the first
say,
Yankees game.
before
good.
that, when you're speaking about the bullpen, I want to just say I think Kevin Cash has done an excellent job for the most part, kind of
Yes.
balancing innings and knowing when to push the buttons, when to stick, and when
Yes.
to twist. I think this year more than ever, he's been good. I genuinely think this might be one of his best managed seasons so far. I mean, there's a lot to play, but he's been really aggressive with pinch hitting. He's been really thinking about the bullpen. And there's never been a time where I've like, whoa, what are you doing? You know? Well, there might be, but
not before today. Honestly, and I'm. This is a bad day for this conversation for me because I'm a little mad. But you're right. Honestly, like this is a year that Kevin Cash could win Manager of the Year. Obviously, still very early, but he has done a fantastic job navigating. Because like when you think about the starting pitcher injuries that we have right now, like a third of our rotation is out, basically, and he has managed to turn that into the best team in baseball. Best record.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're still.
And like Shane McClanahan's on a very strict innings limit.
Yes.
Rasmussen's on a kind of less strict, but still on an innings limit. And then the other two of our rotation are converted relievers in Jackson Schultons, right?
Yes.
So like, expecting more than 5 from them is kind of like asking a bit much. So we've had to use a lot of bullpen innings, and yet we've managed to, apart from that NL Central stint where the bullpen felt a bit iffy, but like we've said, they were going to come good. Go on.
I was going to say, I also give Cash and Mottola credit for the way that the hitters have had their mentality sort of calibrated for the group of guys that we have, and the way that they've been able to get everybody to buy in to that style of play and how well that has worked. I give him credit for that as well.
We play a very unselfish brand of baseball.
Yes.
Like anyone in that lineup, probably barring Junior or Yandy, is ready to drop one down. Ready to just give themselves up to move the guy up, and it's really something. And we're not playing hero ball either. No. We're just playing like get your single or walk and pass it on to the next guy.
And I do think that extends to Yandy and Junior as well. Like, I mean, obviously they will have their power hacks as well, but there's been plenty of times where they've just slapped one the opposite way or just poked one over the infield because that's what the situation called for.
Yeah, and I'm going to be really sympathetic to Junior in particular because I think he's doing pretty well this season, and yet did you know this? He has seen the fewest amount of pitches in the strike zone in terms of percentage-wise of any qualified hitter this year.
I feel like I saw that earlier, and it's like eye test as we have been watching it. I think we would have said something like, "Yeah, he's not seeing a lot of good pitches," but to hear that statistic actually being put out there like that, it really puts in perspective what, even as I think that you might say that he's having a quote unquote down year, but I'm pretty sure his WRC plus is higher this season than it was last season. So I give him a ton of credit for adapting his approach to the opportunities he's been given.
It's way above what it was last year.
11 points.
Yeah. So yeah, he's having a great time. And what's crazy to me is he's becoming good at hitting bad pitches, like bad pitches to swing at. Like he'll see a curveball below the zone and hit it out. He'll hit a fastball at his eyes and he'll hit it out. Like he's going, okay, if you're not going to pitch to me, I'll still find a way to hit a home run.
And I give him huge credit. Walk percentage is up to 12.6% from 6.3 last year.
Doubled.
Strikeouts are down 3%. For him.
He's doubled his walk percentage.
So while it would be so easy for him to just try to, take those swings at those bad pitches to try to make something happen, he's taking his walks. He's making better play decisions. He's still young. He's still going to swing at a pitch at his eyes because he sees a fastball and he wants to turn on one. We've seen that from him too. But over like the season as a whole, I am very impressed with his maturity in his age 22 season.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's not on track to beat his WAR total because his defense has kind of dropped off a cliff. But I think that'll be fine.
I think he's just in his head.
Yeah, I think he'll ultimately be fine with that because he never looked that bad last year. And you don't just it's a mental thing to, start missing throws like that. You don't just become worse at it. It's just And I think that'll even itself out.
Yeah, I feel like most of his errors are not because he's not in the right place or he's not getting there. And like most of it is once the ball is like in front of him, well, either he's messing it, he's like it's a glove, he's got the yips there, or he's got the yips on his throw. And so I feel like that's very teachable, something that can be worked out over time. And he is 22 years old. He is not a finished product by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, 100%. I think he'll be fine ultimately. Not a concern. But yeah, let's talk about the Yankees series. I mean, that first game was a bit of a thriller, a bit of a nail biter. Yeah. Where again it was scoreless for a long time. Austin Wells manages to hit Nick Martinez, pretty much the only guy that manages to hit Nick Martinez. Yeah. And then it suddenly becomes like really tense and nervy. And then the 8th inning happens. And wow, again, so does this sound familiar? Aranda with the big double, Palacios with the go-ahead single.
Yeah. They showed a stat in the game today where Palacios over the past, I think it was like the past like 10 or 11 games, is like 6 for 11 with runners in scoring position. He has taken the opportunity that has been afforded to him to get more playing time and has run with it. Been really, really happy with how he's played. He's kind of doing what we thought he would do if he got a more full-time role. I think we've been huge Palacios fans on this show, basically the whole time since he got here. We've loved his energy. And he just finds a way to like he's got some seeing eye, singles that he's able to find a way to get him in there.
That one he hit against the Orioles was like at his head. It was like at the brim of his batting cap. I don't know how he got to that. And I think it was 3-0. He was swinging at that or something stupid like that. But hey, it worked. And yeah, huge rally. Again, the Yankees mess up defensively.
Yeah.
Or am I getting this confused with
No, you're correct. It was a bit of a weird, I don't know, like, I'm not sure, like, you could say mess up. It was a tough play because it's a hopper that hops, like, right in front of the mound. So Tim Hill tries to go up with his glove and get it, and then he taps it basically over Cabby's head. So now Cabby probably should have stayed back. If Cabby stays back in his spot, that's probably an out. But because
and also,
Cabby went up
Tim Hill leaves it alone.
Correct.
I'm getting confused. Just before this game, the Yankees played and got walked off because they were messing around with a 5.
Well, they did that 5 infield thing.
Yeah.
Again. Yes, I did see that. But this was not that. This was, but again, you could still say they were not on the same page defensively, how to handle that. I mean, obviously, like it's difficult to have. This is where fundamentals come into play, right? Because you can't talk through every possible outcome of an at bat before the at bat. You're not going to be able to talk that through. But it's the fundamentals of, do I as a pitcher do we want our pitchers to be taking balls when they're hit to them? BA gets real upset when they talk about not having. He gets really bent out of shape about it. Cracks me up. But that's one where Tim Hill should just step aside and let his like Gold Glove caliber shortstop take that one, and that's probably at least 1 out, maybe 2. In that scenario, if Cabby gets his glove on it. But instead, Tim Hill goes up for it, taps it over Cabby's head, and the Rays profit.
Yeah, really good. It's weird with the Yankees, isn't it? Because if I just named the players that they have out there, you'd go, they're all good fielders. Like Ryan McMahon, great fielder. Like they got him because of his fielder. Caballero, good fielder. We know him. Jazz Chisholm, good fielder, I would say. Aaron Judge, good fielder, underrated fielder. I would actually say Aaron Judge. Trent Grisham, good fielder. Like, it's so weird that it's weird. But we'll take it. But again, clutch hitting, just to give it to the next single and give it to the next guy, single and give it to the next guy. Unselfish baseball. Baker comes in, locks down the save, who has continued to be outstanding, by the way. And like, I know we're a month or 2 out from this, but like right now, Baker needs to go to the All-Star game for me.
I completely agree. Like, and I think he is a case for like a top 10 closer in baseball. He's just been so good all season long, and there really has only been 1 or 2 outings where he hasn't looked like himself, and the rest have just been locked down. And he's getting put out in the most difficult, in either save situations or like the most like high leverage situation every single night, and he's getting it done. Although I do want to also give a shout to Kevin Kelly, who comes in with Jazz Chisholm on third against Jose Caballero, who's a pesky hitter, as we know, and he manages to get a ground out and get out of the 8th inning, which allows which prevents it from being a 1-run game going into the 9th, and then Baker does come in and take care of business. The 1-2 combo of Kelly and Baker has been very strong all year long.
Just like we drew it up.
Just like we drew it in the offseason.
Yeah. That was sarcasm, dear listener. But considering Uceda was out and considering Manny Rodriguez were out, we were like, wow, Jackson Clevenger are really going to have to be our guys. No, it's Kevin Kelly and Brian Baker, folks. They're the guys that are stepping up. I mean, Brian Baker, 2nd in the American League in saves, 3rd in all of baseball, doesn't walk anybody. It's just been really great.
It's been really great. It very much gives me like Andrew Kittredge. He's got the beard as well.
That's a great comp.
Gives me similar vibes. They're not really the same pitcher in their like pitch mix composition, but the way that I feel when they're in the game is very similar to how
it's given like 2021, 2022 Kittredge.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Love that comp. Yeah.
The other notable thing, we alluded to it earlier in the episode, the other notable thing in this game is Johnny DeLuca pulls up lame heading to 3rd in the 7th inning of this game. And it turns out it is a hamstring issue, which you hate to hear. Those are never good. The hope is that it's not super serious. DeLuca looked pretty bummed after the game, which is never a good sign when the player looks a little defeated. So hopefully that it's a quicker recovery. Then that's been something we've talked about a lot with DeLuca, is if he can stay healthy, he's awesome. And he's been really good for the Rays this season. And so the hope will be that he is able to get back healthy soon. Because right-handed outfilders are in short supply right now for the Rays. Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have tons of them to begin with, because Fraley was a lefty. So hamstrings are tough to work out. It depends on the severity of the strain, which they're not sure yet. I think we're going to probably find out between now and tomorrow. Tomorrow's game. If it's a light strain, it could be a couple weeks. Right. But if it's a severe strain, that could be a really long time. I mean, and also, I think Mike Trout got a strain that was supposedly going to keep him out like 3 weeks and it ended his season. They're tough ones to get because you just can't quite calculate how bad they're going to be. And for DeLuca as well, he was really starting to put together a really good campaign, and it was the story of last season that he just couldn't get enough at bats because he was injured the whole time. And we really don't want that to happen again for him here, because otherwise then that label will start to stick that he's an injury risk guy.
Yeah, which he's just, I mean, he's been playing great defense. He's hitting right around a 100 WRC plus. And I think he's even I think he's been really good so far this season. And, just hope he can get well soon, because he's a guy that we want out there every day, or most days at the bare minimum. But as we also talked about, there is a case to be made that while it is unfortunate that we're going to lose DeLuca, I do think it will be fun to see a little bit more of Ryan Vilade, who has been awesome when available, but he's been pretty strictly a platoon bat for the entire season so far, and had been a lefty killer guy. But now, I think he's going to get a lot of run out there, and honestly, he has earned it, because I don't know if you guys know this, but he's hitting to a 139 WRC plus right now. When he obviously like smaller sample than some of the other guys on the team. But Ryan Vilade is good.
He's good. I mean, Ben Whitelaw has never felt more vindicated, I don't think. The Vilade Brigade is out, and he's been great. I mean, it's been an interesting arc for him because I remember we acquired him really early in the offseason, and then we kept filling up the 40 man, and we're like, well, a move's going to be made for the 40 man, and Valade just kept staying on the roster.
Yeah.
And then in spring, we were like, oh, he looks okay, I guess, in spring, and he kept surviving the cuts, and then we were like, oh, this guy's going to make the roster, isn't he? And he did. And he has been awesome. He's probably been our 4th best position player behind the big 3. He gives I know he's a righty, but he's giving like Luke Rayleigh vibes, like big stocky guy that's kind of got sneaky speed, got pop, like will give you great ABs. But also 88th percentile sprint speed from Valade.
Yeah.
Also elite, like it technically doesn't like count as official yet because he's not had enough ABs, but his bat speed is also elite. It's in the like upper 10% of hitters. Also doesn't strike out that much, doesn't swing and miss that much. Like these are all the makings of a really good hitter. His launch angle, like he's not lifting the ball enough, arguably. But the Rays love that. The Rays love those kind of guys that can smoke the ball on the ground, like Yandy and Junior. Like they don't mind having flat swing guys that can just smoke the ball. And it's worked for Yandy and it's worked for Junior, and now it's working for Valade. So he's just another one of those flat hitters that the Rays absolutely adore. Shout out to Valade. I'll be interested to see if he does get more of a run against right-handed bats, or if they go to the guy they called up, Victor Mesa Jr., who's yet to make an appearance for the Rays yet. But he was crushing it in AAA, actually, before being called up. He's already hit 3 home runs, hitting above 300. Absolutely annihilating baseball. So it'll be interesting to see if he just gets the right-handed at-bats going forward, or if they give a bit more to Valade.
I really do think it should go to Valade, as much as it would be, it's always fun to see a young guy come up from AAA and give him a shot. But Valade is 3rd in almost every major batting statistic behind Yandy and Junior. He's above Aranda in almost every statistic. And obviously it's way less plate appearances, so smaller sample size. So who knows what happens over a full season. And if he was hitting as much as Aranda was hitting, but he's only 0.2 F4 behind Aranda right now, and he's had 1/3 the at-bats.
Wow, that is crazy.
His value when he's been in the game has been crazy. I feel like he's earned a run of games where he's starting. And I mean, obviously, maybe it turns out he really just can't hit right-handed hitters. The splits do not look great against right-handed pitching in a very small. But again, it's like 18 plate appearances against right-handed pitchers so far.
He should have had an RBI single today.
He should have. And I mean, and he's still going to get that single, so he will still get the benefit there. So maybe it looks better. I think he was 2 for 4 today. Valade was. So I mean, listen, I think that Valade has earned, like you mentioned, he is 11% walk percentage, 60% strikeout percentage. So a healthy, he has a little bit of swing and miss in his game, but nowhere near as much as some other guys. And he's walking a good amount. And he's walking more than Yandy Diaz, which is kind of crazy to think about. I really like him. There's nothing not to like really about Valade. And as much as it's, I'd love to see Mesa Jr. get an opportunity. I think that Valade has, because he's also not a liability defensively, I think he's earned a couple.
Hey, got that double play throw today as well.
Yeah.
If we won this game, this would have been the Ryan Valade game, I think.
It would have been. That throw was not amazing, but I also don't know if he was sort of trying to deke, Judge a little bit, and even though Judge should have known to just go straight back. I don't know what Aaron Judge was doing there. That was a terrible. This was a game of some really questionable base running decisions that we had today.
And lo and behold, the run scored when they didn't need any base running to do it.
How about that? But what's not a questionable decision at any time, regardless of the situation? Going to shop.rblar Sports and getting the best merch inspired by your favorite Tampa sports teams. Rowdies, by the way, Rowdies on an absolute heater to begin the season. Watch some Rowdies football if you get a chance. They are awesome. Rowdies, Bucks, Lightning, Rays, Sun. Shop.rblarsports.com. Use promo code FLAPPY, FLAPPY, for 10% off your entire order. Shop.rblarsports.com.
Yeah, I mean, you would not regret it. I mean, maybe I should. I'm going to give a plug to my girlfriend as well, because she made this sick Raise Up t-shirt, by the way. And I want to say thank you. It's a lovely
Yes.
birthday present. Maybe we should try and commission her to get these on the
I
shop.
think we should.
Yeah.
I think we should make that happen.
Hey, girlfriend that I'm not going to give away the name of, Docs.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Have we got a job for you at RVLRsports.com? You want to earn commish?
We
Hit me
got
up.
you.
You got my number.
Got you.
All
right, so Yankees were scared of the Rays and put a rain out in for the second game of the series.
And we've talked a lot about the third game already.
Yeah, but I just have to. I'm gonna explode if I don't get it out of me.
Go on.
What was the thought process? Talk me off the ledge here, Pat. What was the thought process keeping Kevin Kelly out there for the ninth? I do not get it. It is three lefties. Maybe they're three best hitters. Not Grisham.
So
Grisham's not their
Judge
best
wasn't a lefty. Judge is a righty.
Judge is a righty. Excuse me. But you've got Grisham and Rice who are up there. So yeah, and Judge Kelly is not a terrible matchup. So like that's fair. The outcome is what the outcome was, but that's not the egregious part of it necessarily. But I just don't understand when you have Baker and Clevenger both warming. Kelly's already been out there. You're setting Kelly back out to face the top of the lineup. You have everybody on rest. I don't get it.
Okay, so in this season, Kevin Kelly has made 7 multi-inning appearances. And in those multi-inning appearances, apart before today, he has only given up a run one time. So he's good at doing it. He's been good at going that second inning. And I think maybe Cash was like trying to get a little greedy, maybe, perhaps. But also maybe he would if he was going to go, right, if I want the matchup for one guy, it's Judge. Instead of lefty. Would you rather have a righty facing Rice and Grisham, or would you rather have a lefty face Judge?
Honestly, Clevenger is a little platoon neutral in the first place, but he is a lefty, and I would have rather, like in my perfect world, Clevenger goes out there, gets Grisham out, you just walk Judge, just forget about it, just put him on, don't even worry about it, and then you let Cleve get the rest of the inning. That's what that's what I would have done. But I'm not a manager, and I don't know. But like for me, I hear you, because Kevin Kelly has been awesome all year long. So this is not intended to be a slight towards KK, because he's been fantastic. I just feel like you had all the bullets in the chamber and you just didn't empty it. You tried to snipe him instead of using it.
Yeah, it wasn't aggressive. Maybe they were hoping that KK would get out of it, and then you've got your pick of your two best guys for the extras when you really need that. Like maybe they were like, listen, Clevenger is a strikeout guy, like he can get you a strikeout when needed.
Yeah.
Baker, but like the best pitcher we have. Maybe he was like, listen, I don't know, Kelly, give us one more inning. We push across one run in extras.
Yeah.
Then we've got those guys. Meanwhile, if you use Clevenger, he's not an option for you. In the 10th. But I think if it worked, if he didn't give up the home run to Judge, it would have looked great. But
yeah, you're right about that.
It's a tough one. I think after he walked Grisham, there was definitely a conversation to have after the leadoff walk to Grisham. There was definitely a conversation to be like, should we pull him now because his command's not there? But hey, I think the bigger mistake was the base running more than anything.
Yeah, and I was trying to watch back that inning to see if I could tell if that was just a terrible, terrible send on the part of Brady Williams, or if it was a misread by Junior. And I was difficult to tell. I mean, he's clearly sending Dunn, which he should have done. There you go. But I could not tell if Brady had told Junior to go as well. But it just that's just not the guy. Bellinger has a great arm. That's not the dude I want to be testing. And he was out pretty comfortably, Junior was. And if it was it's completely unforced, because if Junior just stays at second, it's a run. and the Rays are, and again, if the Rays are winning in that scenario,
then Baker comes in the
Baker
ninth.
comes in, and that's probably the end of it, because Baker's a great matchup for Judge, and I trust him to get out the other guys.
Mm-hmm. And he probably wouldn't have walked Grisham. So
correct.
Yeah, tough. And even with the Carson Williams one, which I know you're convinced that's a balk.
Yeah, I am.
But immediately following Carson Williams, it was like Yandy singled, Aranda singled, and there was like a third single in there or something like that.
Yeah, that would have been a run. That would have been a run.
So tough one. Felt like one that was up for grabs today. It didn't feel like, when I always do this thing where it's like you've got your 60 wins and your 60 losses. This felt like one of those ones that were in the balance.
Yeah,
and it was a shame that we couldn't get this one. But I also think the first game of the series was one that was in the balance, and we came back and won that one. So we take those.
A true split, these were good baseball games, by the way. If you watch them, these were what you want from Rays Yankees. They are hard fought games, good pitching, clutch hits. Say whatever you want about it, but it was an insanely clutch hit from Judge to hit that one out, even though it was kind of a Mickey Mouse home run. It was very clutch. Even if it had been a double, it would have been clutch. It
felt like a heavyweight battle between the two best teams in the American League.
Which is exactly what it was. And you're right. And they were great baseball games to watch.
Yeah. And one of them was about the clutch hitting. One of them was just about the pitching and getting it done. And you know what? We're currently 4-1 against the Yankees overall.
Yeah.
And we got a split at the stadium, which I think walking into the series, you would absolutely take it. We didn't expect the possibility of a split would happen.
Right.
But the main thing for me was whatever happens, do not get swept at the stadium. And we didn't.
Right.
So
we did.
Because I would have absolutely taken 1 out of 3 at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I think so. Because you're right. It is a situation where we're still 4.5 games up. We have 8 games left, which now turns into 2, which it would have been always this way. But now it's a little bit more interesting because you've got 2 4-game series essentially left. One in the Trop, and then one, which is the second to last series of the season against the Yankees in the stadium, which will be very interesting now because that's a doubleheader off a day off to go into that last week of the season. So stay tuned for September, see how that. But that feels like one still a long way to go, but feels like could end up being very consequential. But we shall see.
Yeah. Do you care about playoff odds?
I publicly no, but privately, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll say it quietly then. Rays are now at 92.4% playoff odds.
It's I feel like because we're getting we've already passed the Mendoza line of if we just go 500 the rest of the way, we're probably making the playoffs. But even that, listen, that's easier said than done. And I don't want to jinx anything. There's still a lot of ball to be played. We still have to see, if guys come back from injury, are they able to kind of, mitigate some potential the league catching on to guys like Schultens and Jax as he's turning into more of a star.
So
what does that end up being?
Forget the division for a minute, right? Currently, the Minnesota Twins have the 6th seed. They have that 3rd wild card. Yeah. We are 9.5 games up.
That feels
so
pretty
it would feel pretty bad because the Twins are also under 500 and have the playoff spot, right?
Yeah.
It would feel pretty bad to blow it from here. It's possible. It's completely possible. And I will be so cross and upset if we blow it from here. But please.
This would be a tough cliff. This would be a tough clip at the end of the season.
Yeah. Let me just preface that there's a reason that it's not 100% playoff odds. There is still a chance, but the Rays would need to fall off a cliff for them to not make the playoffs, and they could, but they hopefully won't.
And we've talked about it a bunch. I think we both think that the way the Rays are winning is sustainable over the whole season. They're not as much as it sometimes feels that way, they're actually not overtaxing their bullpen. It's one of the things that you mentioned earlier about how well Kevin Cash has been doing. He has found ways to steal innings here and there and allow guys to get rest. So he's not killing Baker. He's not killing Clevenger.
And also people can cook it however they want because you could go, oh, look at the bullpen innings, but that includes Jesse Schulten's bulk work, right? That counts as bullpen innings. So you've just got to dig a bit deeper, I think, to really understand the way the bullpen's being used and how it's being managed. Don't worry about it. I think what the Rays is doing is sustainable. Do I think it's sustainable at the pace we're currently winning? Probably not. But like I don't think we're going to go 14-3 in our next 17 games. Like maybe I'd love it, but
Yeah.
I think it's a big ask. Like if you were to ask any team to go on a 14-3 stretch, well, it's tough. But it's top stuff, and I think the Rays will be in the playoffs now. It's just a question of fighting for that division, which I think is going to be tough.
Yeah, and I will say, like, if we look ahead, like we talked a lot about this stretch versus American League East teams. They've come through at 11-3, and obviously pending this Orioles series. And I mean, I think we would say that the Orioles are a series you think you can win. After the Orioles series, you go Orioles, Angels at home, then you get Detroit, which is floundering at home, Marlins on the road, Red Sox at home, and Angels on the road. So maybe not 14-3, but I don't see a whole lot of series losses. And obviously, knock on wood, and anything could happen. And these are all Major League Baseball teams who could win a series or sweep us. But this is a portion of the schedule where we've gotten through a difficult portion, and I think we could continue to maintain and sort of kick that can down the road to where even if there is regression, we are at such a point where it becomes like there's just so much of a cushion there. If we continue to play at this level against the quality of opponent that we're looking at, ahead of us, I think we could find ourselves in a very good position going into like the All-Star break.
Yeah, which is what you want ultimately, because that will determine trade deadline conversations.
Correct.
Which we'll not talk about right now because
not yet. I want to, but it's not yet. It's not time.
Not yet. But yeah, this Orioles series for me is like the last kind of cherry on the cake. If because we talked about it in the start of April, even we said, "Hey, look at that stretch."
Mm-hmm.
And if we came from the future and told us in April, hey, by the way, they're going to be potentially like, let's say we go 2 out of 3 against the Orioles, that'd be like 19-4, 13-4 in that stretch. Yeah. And then plus that sweep of the Giants in there, if you want to add that in there, crazy stuff. I think we would have said you're lying because that is an unbelievable run, and we can't take, even though the loss today was tough. Like I was saying before the stream, we have lost 3 times in May.
That's crazy.
That's not true. We've lost 4 times in May. We've lost 4 times in the month of May, counting today.
Oh, because today counts, yes.
Yeah, counting today. 4 times in May, counting today. Now, 3 of those losses were walk-offs or extra innings.
Yep.
3 of our 4 losses were either walk-offs or extra innings, which means we were in the game till the last at-bat, basically.
Yeah.
So, there's where you could flip those coins, and we're on like a 17-game win streak.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about, like you said, amazing performance versus the East, a win in the Citrus Series, a series win in the Citrus Series, and like you said, a sweep of the Giants. I mean, I don't know that we could have drawn it up any better. Like if you had told me that we would have had this record at this point in the season, I would have said you were pumping hopium. Honestly, I think we said it at the beginning of the year that we were both imagining a gutsy, run to the finish to get the last wild card spot. That's kind of what we envisioned from this team. And they have come out and just taken all of the opportunity where the AL's been down a little bit. But guess what? Some of that is because the Rays are just killing teams, every team that they play. And so the Rays are a part of the reason why the American League is down, because they're just beating everybody. And so they have taken the opportunities in front of them and run with it. And I'm so excited to see the rest of the season play out, because the other thing, and we're not going to talk about trade deadline stuff, but if you've seen the Rays on social media recently, it's been because basically every MLB insider seems to think that Neander is going to make some sort of a big move at this deadline.
Yeah, people are saying crazy names like Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah.
That seems to be a commonly one that people seem to throw out there. It's not the easiest fit of a baseball player ever, but with a bat of that caliber, you can maybe make it work. And maybe you trade someone to make that work as well, open up a spot somewhere.
Stick around for trade deadline talk later.
Yeah, we will definitely be talking about trade. And the last thing I want to say before we do Bat and Arm of the Week and get out of here, NL Central teams, Hate those guys, right? Hate those guys. They're the only teams that have shown up. Shout out to the Miami Marlins, by the way. I think if I'm right here, if my numbers are correct, the Miami Marlins are the only non-NL Central team to hand the Rays an L at the Trop this season.
How about that?
And they did that in extra innings.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. Like, no AL East team has given us an L at the Trop yet. So,
It's domination. It's been domination so far.
Yeah, imagine if the NL Central didn't exist. Oh my word.
Yeah, I know. Imagine if we had played like the AL Central or something.
Yeah, it's just nuts. I don't think we've played an AL West game yet. And that's been a pretty tough looking division. And by tough, I mean tough for them.
Yeah, it's because it's the A's are leading the division right now.
And they're 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone in the AL West is doing pretty bad right now.
Yeah.
So
we'll take it.
Yeah, let's do batting arm of the week and then we'll get out of here because we're what can we say? Rays are good. It's great. It's beautiful.
You know who else is good? The bat of the week, Yandy Diaz. He is real good, and he was real good this week. Nothing crazy. Just a 363 WRC plus, 0.6 F4, 2 bombs, 7 ribbies. Just he has a 1.143 slug on the week, not OPS, slug on the week from Yandy Diaz. Just a crazy week from Yandy. We've said it before. We'll probably say it again. Maybe the most underrated hitter in all of baseball. Just has been like a really good hitter the entire time he's been in Tampa. And we mentioned it at the beginning of the season, but obviously he was good this week. But the conversation is going to be loud at the end of this year if he continues to play this way. Where does he fall within the zeitgeist of all-time Rays players?
I was thinking about it. I think if we're talking about position players, I think he's top 5.
I think so too. And again, I think this is an off-season episode that we will do, but it's like, it's going to be like, I think there's obviously like Longo's at the top forever. I don't know that anyone will ever get there. Maybe Junior has a chance, but I think anyone else, like, it's a conversation with what Yandy's been able to do over this stretch.
I think genuinely it goes Evan Longoria, Ben Zobrist, Kyle Crawford, Yandy Diaz.
But and honestly, I think it'd be interesting to look at Crawford and Yandy's careers. I think Ben Zobrist, because of what he did to pioneer the utility position, gets him jump there too. And he kind of feels like a Rays player, Ben Zobrist does. But I think it'd be really interesting. We'll do it in the offseason, so stick around for that. But Yandy Diaz, fantastic this week. He's just a joy to watch at the plate every time he gets up there.
Yeah, and what's even crazier is every time we think we might eventually see a fall off, we're like, oh, he's getting kind of old. He's currently on a 149 WRC plus for the season, which if he holds that pace, it'll be his second best season as a hitter behind obviously that monster 2023 he had where he won the batting title and hit all those home runs. It's crazy. He's on a good home run pace this year as well,
Yeah.
He's probably on pace to hit about mid-20s again.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the numbers right now on him, and he feels very like Nelson. Nelson Cruz is kind of a dirty name in the Rays fandom, but he feels very much like that, where it's like, man, the dude just continues to go, and I don't like. He's definitely changed the game a little bit, where he has sacrificed some of his walks for a little bit more power. But I think it's a welcome. Sacrifice, in my opinion.
Mind you, he's got a 391 on base this year.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And also with Yandy, this is my unpopular opinion. This is I think this might be unpopular, particularly with the Rays front office. But I think I know. Is this the last year of his deal? I think this is the last year of his deal.
He is a free agent in 20. He has a club option for 2027.
Oh yeah, it's a vesting option. He needs 500 plate appearances.
Yeah.
Which I think he's going to get. He's already at 200.
He's at 202. Yeah, he should.
I think keep him till he breaks. I don't care if he starts to decline because I would take age declined Yandy Diaz hitting a 120 WRC plus.
He is, because I mean, look, you said it. He's on pace for 28 bombs and a 4.9 F4,
Right.
which would be like almost like right on par with that 2023 season. A little bit more home runs, a little bit less F4.
Yeah, and I think again he should be an all-star. I think all-star DH all-star. So he doesn't have to compete with Ben Rice, basically.
I think Jordan might snake him out of like the starting position.
Yeah, Jordan.
Unfortunately, but I think he is an alternate. I think he is like the number 2 DH.
Can we give Jordan left field?
He has played. Like, I was looking it up because even though we said we were going to talk about it, I was absolutely looking up Jordan Alvarez stats and what we could possibly do to trade for him earlier the other day. And he unfortunately has only played like 8 games in left field, so it's probably not going to happen. But maybe he'll just play a bunch of left field through June and July, and they'll give him left field.
I'd love. Damn, that's a real shame that Jordan Alvarez, because he will. Yeah, he'll.
Unfortunately, Jordan is cracked.
Yeah.
Somehow.
But maybe he'll be a Ray by the time the All-Star game rolls out.
And it'll all be good because the Rays do like to do their early trades.
Yeah, so why not? But yeah, Orioles and Angels are the series that are upcoming this week. We haven't done Arm of the Week, actually.
We haven't done Arm of the Week, and I think it's very worth doing because he was awesome today.
Yeah, it's a shame. He's going to come away with a no decision. But 7 shutout at Yankee Stadium. Unbelievable work. I mean, he's went this season, 12 innings, 1 earned run against the Yankees this season. And it's Drew Rasmussen. He started excellently today. Did his usual thing where he was not going to, get a ton of strikeouts, but just the one walk allowed, I believe. And just pitched super efficiently, which again, he would not be going into the 7th if he didn't, because he's on a pitch limit. Yeah. Were you surprised that Cash gave him the 7th?
I remember looking at it because he went into the 7th inning with, I believe it was 77 pitches. So it was kind of right on the borderline, but like he was pitching so well and he just looked so comfortable out there. You had only given up the 1 walk, which I think was a factor for Cash as he was looking at it. I think if he'd given up like 2 or 3 walks, he probably would have pulled him. Because he'd only given up the 1 walk, I think they were like, you know what, let's leave him out there. And he took care of the 7th very easily and ended up with only 92 pitches, only over 7 innings, which is amazing efficiency.
Yeah, outstanding job against a tough Yankees lineup at their home park, which again is a hitter's park. Unbelievable stuff. It's outstanding. It's a shame Ryan Weathers also shoved, because on most days that would be enough to win you a ball game.
Yeah, I have to say, I was not overly impressed with the Yankees hitting over the course of this series, but the Yankees can pitch a little bit. I give them a lot of credit. The
rotation, especially.
Yeah, the rotation is great. And the runs that the Rays scored were not because of the starting pitching just gave up meatballs. They were some either really good hitting or some errors on the defense. So the Yankees can definitely pitch a little bit.
I think all our runs came off the bullpen. I think the series.
But Drew's awesome.
Drew was awesome. But yeah, that rotation, Schlittler, Fried, Weathers, that's some nasty stuff.
Right, Cole came back. Fried is hurt, but Cole came back. So
he pitched well. Well.
He was good.
So yeah, scary times because they've got a good enough hitting. They're kind of a top half of the batting order will do all your work, and then they'll just pitch you to death. It's a winning formula. It sounds like another team that's apparently unsustainable.
Yeah, well, and their formula is being done better by the Rays right now, and they're just gonna have to deal with that.
I'm gonna say it right. I would say that Diaz, Aranda, Caminero are going band for band with Rice, Judge, Bellinger right now.
100%. I mean, they may not have the statistics right now. I think that the Yankees hitters numbers right now look a little
Aranda
bit
has
better.
More RBIs than anyone.
But like you say, there's some statistics that favor the Rays, and which core would you rather have? I mean, Yanni's old, but Junior and Aranda are young and are going to be around forever. And those guys for the Yankees, how much more are those guys getting paid for like roughly the same level of production that the Rays are giving out. Like I would love to pull up those salary. It'd be an insane salary difference.
Yankees fans will hate to admit it. They'll hate to admit it, but the Rays and Yankees have similar MOs in terms of like, you've got your 3 core hitters expected to do a carry job, hope that you can get enough from the rest of the lineup, play good defense, pitch your way there. Well, they're both doing the same thing.
And I think the difference that you see like in this season is that the rest of the Rays lineup knows what they are and takes advantage of the opportunities that they get and plays smart baseball. Whereas I think a lot of the rest of the Yankees lineup is also trying to hit homers.
Yeah.
And so then they don't do well.
They have the hit. They have more power in their team. Don't get me wrong. Like Grisham, Moggs, Simpson, and Mullins in terms of power, right?
Sure.
And Goldschmidt probably beats, I don't know, whoever are like Palacios or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
Caballero and Walls is kind of a wash. But McMahon's also really struggled. But Austin Wells probably absolutely destroys our catchers in terms of home runs. Yeah. But they've got a bit more power in them. We've got a bit more contact tool in them. But otherwise, the kind of like main game plan of what the roster's constructed to do and how it's constructed to work is very similar.
Well, and here's the thing. So like the Yankees are 3rd in slug, which I would say is what their MO would be. The Rays are 13th in slug. So, right. I mean, that's there. The Yankees are the 23rd worst team in strikeout percentage, whereas the Rays are the best.
Right.
So that's the difference. I do think I do agree with you that there is some sort of similarity in the philosophy, but the difference is that the Rays are minimizing the weaknesses of that philosophy, whereas the Yankees are fully playing into it, and you get all of the negatives with those positives, which results in games like we saw where the Yankees did basically nothing for almost the entire game, both days, and had a couple of moments where they were able to get some runs across, and they're relying on homers where they did nothing outside of the Judge homer. And obviously that wins them the game. And so fair play to them for that. But like, that's their strategy. And if they don't get that Judge home run, they lose.
Yeah. Yeah. And also that's what a team that costs loads of money. Like when you have a team that is full of star players that you've, paid a lot of money for, you can rely on that individual moment.
Yeah.
To happen with more reliability than a Moneyball team like the Rays, where you can't go, oh gosh, I just hope Taylor Walls comes through for us. Like it's not in the same way that even Austin Wells can. You've got to make sure it's a team effort, and that's why we're a contact approach and they're a power approach, because they've got those individual moments in them in a more likely scenario than we have those individual moments.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, these are two good teams. Like the Yankees are not, as much as we like to clown on them, the Yankees are a good team. They're. I think this is a much better constructed roster than we've seen from them in some other seasons. I think this is actually decently solid. I think that that they will find some ways to the guys at the bottom of the lineup do find ways to score, and frankly, their top of the lineup does win you a lot of baseball games. So a lot of credit to them. But I honestly think the Rays are better right now. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out through the rest of the season, because it's going to be an easy comparison to make. Yeah.
And to put the olive branch to the Yankees fans, right? I'm going to say, the Yankees have taken advantage of a really poor American League.
Yeah.
But so have the Rays.
Correct.
But both teams can only play who's in front of them.
Right.
So I don't know why there's this weird thing amongst baseball media at the moment where it's like, oh, well, the Rays are only benefiting from a poor American League, but yet the Yankees are like, not. I don't get it. I really don't understand that double standard there, apart from like, oh, well, the Yankees are supposed to do well and the Rays are not, so therefore it's only the Rays' fault that they're playing a bad American League.
Well, it's the rest of the league's fault. It's because the Yankees have Judge and Bellinger and Cole and Fried, and so there's this expectation that no matter what, the Yankees are going to be there at the end of the year, and they're going to be great because they have that top end talent. Which it's not wrong, but I think anecdotally in the moment as we're looking at it, it is definitely an unfair way that teams are talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hate to bring other people into it, but it was John Boy. It was John Boy that said it. It was Talking Jake. He said, oh, I would give the Rays more credit, but the American League's so bad. Why should I? Like they're just playing against bad teams all the time. We're 4-1 against you. But I guess we should not ask for Ray's opinions from John Boy, apart from Trevor Plouffe.
Trevor Plouffe is a Rays. He played for the Rays a little bit.
He played for the Rays. Rays legend.
Yeah, Rays legend.
So yeah, Drew Rasmussen Arm of the Week, Yandy Bad of the Week. Rays are still good. We got Orioles and Angels coming up. Hopefully we have another good week and we continue to just, gush in the way that we do.
Absolutely. And we hope that you will be here for that gushing and for that excitement that will come next week after the Rays, of course, go 6-0 once again, or they've actually gone 6-0 in a week, but this will be the week they go 6-0. We're going to have a show to talk all about it next week. If you enjoyed the show, do us a huge favor, drop us a follow or subscribe on whatever platform you enjoy the show on. Love to hear from you guys, what your thoughts are on the win streak over the past couple of weeks, this amazing month of May that we're having. Love to hear you guys' thoughts. You can drop it over on YouTube. We'd love to hear from you guys. But that's going to be all from us. We're super excited to see what this week brings. Feels like we can take advantage of some weak opponents. And whether they do or whether they don't, it's going to be Rays up.
Rays up.
Thank you for tuning into this presentation by RBLI Sports. On your way out of the stadium, please remember to like and subscribe.